Hidden reasons why you look younger than your age. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to have discovered the fountain of youth while others appear decades older than their actual age? What if I told you that looking younger than your years isn't just about genetics or expensive skincare routines? What if the real secrets to youthful appearance lie in psychological traits and behavioral patterns that most people completely overlook? Today, we're going to uncover the hidden reasons why you might look younger than your age. And these reasons go far deeper than what you see in the mirror. This isn't about skincare tips or anti-aging creams. This is about the psychological and behavioral foundations that create genuine youthfulness from the inside out. By the end of this video, you'll understand why some people radiate vitality and youth regardless of their chronological age, while others seem to age rapidly despite having access to the best resources. The first hidden reason you look younger than your age is something that most people never consider. You don't seek validation from others. This might sound completely unrelated to physical appearance, but the connection is profound and scientifically backed. When you're not constantly worried about what others think of you, your entire physiology changes. Your stress hormones decrease, your sleep improves, your posture straightens, and your facial expressions become more relaxed and natural. Think about it. Have you ever noticed how people who are desperate for approval always look tired? They carry tension in their faces, their shoulders are hunched from the constant weight of trying to please everyone, and their eyes have a searching, anxious quality that ages them beyond their years. When you're free from the exhausting cycle of seeking external validation, your body can actually relax and regenerate properly. The stress hormone cortisol is one of the most powerful aging accelerators known to science. It breaks down collagen, increases inflammation, disrupts sleep cycles, and creates that perpetually tired, worn-down appearance that makes people look decades older than they are. When you stop caring about constant approval from others, your cortisol levels naturally decrease, allowing your body's natural repair and regeneration processes to function optimally. But there's something even deeper happening here. People who don't seek validation have a different relationship with their own reflection. They're not constantly scrutinizing themselves through the lens of others' potential judgment. This means they're not creating the chronic facial tension that comes from constantly monitoring and adjusting their appearance to please others. Their facial muscles remain relaxed, preventing the formation of stress-induced wrinkles and maintaining the natural elasticity that we associate with youth. The second hidden reason you look younger is that you maintain strong personal boundaries. This might seem like a personality trait that has nothing to do with physical appearance, but boundaries are actually one of the most powerful anti-aging tools available. When you have clear, consistent boundaries, you protect your energy from being drained by toxic people and situations. This energy conservation shows up directly in your physical appearance. People with poor boundaries often look exhausted because they literally are exhausted. They're constantly giving their energy away to others, saying yes when they mean no, and allowing their personal space to be invaded by people who don't respect them. This chronic energy drain manifests as dark circles under the eyes, dull skin, poor posture, and an overall depleted appearance that can make someone look 10 to 15 years older than their actual age. When you maintain strong boundaries, you're essentially protecting your vital energy. You're not allowing others to drain your resources, manipulate your emotions, or invade your personal space. This protection allows your body to use its energy for repair, regeneration, and maintaining optimal function rather than constantly defending against external stressors and energy vampires. The third hidden reason is perhaps the most surprising. You're comfortable with being misunderstood. This psychological trait has a direct impact on your physical appearance because it eliminates one of the most aging behaviors known to humanity, the constant need to explain yourself. When you're comfortable with being misunderstood, you don't engage in the exhausting process of trying to control other people's perceptions of you. Have you ever watched someone desperately trying to explain themselves to everyone around them? They talk rapidly, their facial expressions are animated with anxiety, and they carry themselves with the frantic energy of someone who feels constantly under attack. This behavior pattern creates chronic tension in the facial muscles, neck and shoulders, leading to premature aging and a stressed appearance that can make someone look much older than their years. When you're comfortable with being misunderstood, your entire demeanor changes. You speak more slowly and deliberately. Your facial expressions remain calm and composed. Your body language is relaxed and confident. This physiological calmness has a direct anti-aging effect because your body isn't constantly flooded with stress hormones and your muscles aren't chronically tense from the effort of trying to control others' opinions. The fourth hidden reason you look younger is that you don't engage in approval-seeking behaviors. Approval seeking is one of the most aging behaviors because it requires constant performance, constant monitoring of others' reactions, and constant adjustment of your authentic self to meet others' expectations. This performance is exhausting on every level, mentally, emotionally, and physically. When you observe people who are constantly seeking approval, you'll notice they often have a particular look about them. Their eyes are always scanning for reactions, their smiles often seem forced or uncertain, and they carry themselves with the tentative energy of someone who's never quite sure if they're doing the right thing. This constant state of uncertainty and performance creates a particular kind of aging that goes beyond simple chronological time. People who don't seek approval, on the other hand, have a settled quality about them. Their eyes are clear and direct, their smiles are genuine when they occur, and they move through the world with the confident energy of someone who knows their own worth. This inner security translates directly into physical appearance because they're not wasting energy on constant performance and adjustment. The fifth hidden reason is that you maintain what psychologists call emotional regulation. This means you don't allow other people's emotions, opinions, or behaviors to completely destabilize your internal state. You can remain calm and centered even when others around you are chaotic, dramatic, or attempting to manipulate your emotions. Emotional regulation is one of the most powerful anti-aging tools because emotional volatility is incredibly aging. When your emotions are constantly up and down based on external circumstances, your body is flooded with stress hormones, your sleep is disrupted, your eating patterns become erratic, and your overall health suffers. All of these factors contribute to premature aging and a worn-down appearance. People who maintain emotional regulation have a particular quality of presence that we often associate with youth. They seem unflappable, calm, and centered regardless of what's happening around them. This inner stability shows up in their physical appearance as clear skin, bright eyes, good posture, and an overall vitality that defies their chronological age. The sixth hidden reason you look younger than your age is that you don't engage in chronic complaining or negative thinking patterns. This might sound like pop psychology, but the connection between mental patterns and physical appearance is well documented in scientific literature. Chronic negativity creates specific facial expressions that over time become permanently etched into your features. Have you ever noticed how people who complain constantly develop particular facial patterns? Their brows are often furrowed, their mouths turn downward at the corners, and they develop what are called worry lines around their eyes and forehead. These expressions, when repeated thousands of times over years, literally reshape the facial structure and create an aged, bitter appearance that can make someone look much older than they are. When you don't engage in chronic complaining, your facial muscles remain in more neutral, relaxed positions. Your default expression is more pleasant and open, which not only makes you more attractive to others, but actually prevents the formation of negative expression lines that age the face prematurely. The seventh hidden reason is that you maintain what could be called selective engagement. This means you don't feel compelled to react to every stimulus, respond to every criticism, or engage with every person who demands your attention. You choose your battles wisely and don't waste energy on pointless conflicts or drama. Selective engagement is anti-aging because it conserves your vital energy for things that actually matter. When you're not constantly reacting to every external stimulus, your nervous system can remain in a more relaxed state. This relaxation shows up in your physical appearance as reduced tension, better sleep, improved digestion, and an overall more youthful vitality. People who lack selective engagement often look frazzled and worn down because they're responding to everything that comes their way. They're in a constant state of reaction, which keeps their nervous system in a perpetual state of alert that's incredibly aging over time. The eighth hidden reason you look younger is that you maintain curiosity and intellectual engagement without needing to prove your intelligence to others. This creates a particular kind of mental vitality that shows up in your eyes, your posture, and your overall energy. When your mind is actively engaged in learning and growing, but you're not performing this intelligence for others' approval, you maintain the kind of mental freshness that we associate with youth. Intellectual curiosity that isn't performed for others has a particular quality that's very attractive and youthful. Your eyes remain bright and interested, you maintain good posture because you're engaged with the world around you, and you have the kind of mental energy that creates physical vitality. This is very different from the exhausting performance of trying to appear intelligent to impress others, which often makes people look strained and artificial. The ninth hidden reason is that you don't engage in social comparison behaviors. Social comparison is one of the most aging behaviors because it creates chronic dissatisfaction, envy, and a sense of inadequacy that shows up directly in your physical appearance. When you're constantly measuring yourself against others, you develop the kind of internal tension and dissatisfaction that ages you from the inside out.
People who don't engage in social comparison have a particular kind of contentment that's very youthful. They're not constantly looking around to see how they measure up to others, which means their attention can be focused on their own growth, their own interests, and their own life, rather than being scattered across constant comparative analysis. The 10th hidden reason you look younger than your age is that you maintain what could be called authentic self-expression. You don't feel the need to constantly modify your personality, your opinions, or your behavior to fit different social situations. This authenticity eliminates the exhausting energy drain that comes from constantly performing different versions of yourself for different audiences. Authentic self-expression is incredibly anti-aging because it eliminates the internal conflict that comes from living a lie. When there's no discrepancy between who you are internally and how you present yourself externally, your energy can be used for growth, health, and vitality, rather than being wasted on maintaining false personas. The 11th hidden reason is that you don't engage in what psychologists call emotional labor for people who don't reciprocate. Emotional labor is the exhausting work of managing other people's emotions, trying to keep them happy, and constantly adjusting your behavior to maintain their emotional stability. This kind of one-sided emotional work is incredibly draining and aging. When you don't engage in unrequited emotional labor, you conserve enormous amounts of energy that would otherwise be wasted on trying to manage other people's internal states. This energy conservation shows up as improved physical vitality, better sleep, reduced stress, and an overall more youthful appearance. The 12th hidden reason you look younger is that you maintain what could be called outcome independence. This means you can take action, make decisions, and engage with life without being overly attached to specific outcomes or other people's responses to your choices. This psychological flexibility eliminates an outcome independence is anti-aging because it eliminates the chronic anxiety that comes from trying to control things that are ultimately outside your control. When you can act without being desperately attached to specific results, your nervous system can remain much more relaxed, which has direct benefits for your physical appearance and overall health. The 13th hidden reason is that you don't engage in image management behaviors. Image management is the exhausting work of trying to control how others perceive you, constantly monitoring your reputation, and adjusting your behavior to maintain a particular image. This kind of constant self-monitoring is incredibly aging because it requires enormous mental and emotional energy. When you're not engaged in constant image management, you can be more present in your actual life, rather than constantly watching yourself live your life. This presence and authenticity creates a particular kind of vitality that we associate with youth, the quality of being fully engaged with the present moment, rather than constantly monitoring and adjusting your performance. The 14th hidden reason you look younger than your age is that you maintain healthy skepticism about social media and external validation systems. You understand that likes, comments, followers, and other forms of digital validation are not meaningful measures of your worth or success. This skepticism protects you from the aging effects of social media addiction and constant comparison. Social media addiction is incredibly aging because it creates chronic dissatisfaction, comparison, and the need for constant validation from strangers. When you maintain healthy skepticism about these systems, you're protected from their aging effects and can focus your energy on real-world relationships and achievements that actually contribute to your well-being. The 15th hidden reason is that you don't engage in what could be called preemptive apologizing. This is the behavior of constantly apologizing for your existence, your needs, your opinions, and your space in the world. Preemptive apologizing is aging because it creates a chronically submissive posture that shows up in your body language, facial expressions, and overall presence. When you don't apologize for existing, your posture improves, your eye contact becomes more direct, and you carry yourself with the kind of confidence that's naturally attractive and youthful. You're not constantly shrinking yourself to make others more comfortable, which allows you to maintain the full vitality of your natural presence. The 16th hidden reason you look younger is that you maintain clear priorities and don't allow others to constantly redirect your attention and energy toward their priorities. This focus and self-direction creates a particular kind of mental clarity that shows up in your physical appearance as alertness, purpose, and vitality. When your attention is constantly being hijacked by other people's agendas, you develop the scattered, frazzled appearance of someone who's being pulled in too many directions. When you maintain clear priorities and protect your focus, you have the centered, purposeful appearance that we associate with people who are in control of their lives. The 17th hidden reason is that you don't engage in trauma bonding or connect with others primarily through shared complaints, problems, or negative experiences. This type of bonding is incredibly draining because it requires you to constantly revisit negative experiences and maintain a victim mindset that's very aging. When you connect with others through shared interests, values, and positive experiences rather than shared trauma, you maintain a more optimistic and forward-looking perspective that keeps you mentally and emotionally young. This optimism shows up in your facial expressions, your posture, and your overall energy. The 18th hidden reason you look younger than your age is that you maintain what could be called emotional boundaries. This means you don't allow other people's emotions to completely overwhelm your own emotional state. You can be empathetic and caring without becoming emotionally enmeshed with everyone around you. Emotional boundaries are anti-aging because they protect you from the exhausting drama and emotional volatility that many people live in constantly. When you're not constantly absorbing other people's emotional chaos, your own emotional state can remain more stable, which has direct benefits for your physical health and appearance. The 19th hidden reason is that you don't engage in performative vulnerability. This is the behavior of sharing personal information, struggles, or emotions primarily to gain sympathy, attention, or validation from others rather than for genuine connection or healing. Performative vulnerability is aging because it keeps you stuck in victim narratives that prevent real growth and healing. When you're genuinely vulnerable, only when appropriate and with people who've earned that trust, you maintain healthier emotional boundaries and don't waste energy on emotional performances that don't serve your actual well-being. The 20th and final hidden reason you look younger than your age is that you understand the difference between being alone and being lonely. You're comfortable with solitude and don't feel the desperate need to constantly surround yourself with people to avoid being alone with your own thoughts. This comfort with solitude eliminates a major source of anxiety and desperation that ages many people prematurely. When you're comfortable being alone, you don't make desperate social choices or stay in relationships that drain your energy just to avoid solitude. This selectivity in your social connections means you're surrounded by people who genuinely add value to your life, rather than people who just fill space. And this quality difference in relationships has a direct impact on your stress levels, energy, and overall well-being. All of these hidden reasons work together to create what we might call authentic youthfulness. This isn't about trying to look young or act young, but about maintaining the psychological and emotional patterns that naturally preserve vitality, energy, and physical health. When you're not wasting energy on validation seeking, boundary violations, approval addiction, and emotional drama, that energy is available for the repair, regeneration, and optimal function that creates genuine youthfulness. The people who look youngest for their age aren't necessarily those with the best genetics or the most expensive skincare routines. They're the people who've learned to protect their energy, maintain their boundaries, and live authentically without constantly performing for others' approval. They've discovered that real anti-aging happens from the inside out, and that the most powerful youth-preserving tool is psychological and emotional maturity, not external interventions.
Understanding these hidden reasons can help you recognize why you might already look younger than your age, or it can help you develop the psychological and behavioral patterns that will naturally preserve your youthfulness as you continue to age. The fountain of youth isn't a place or a product, it's a way of being in the world that preserves your vital energy and allows your natural vitality to shine through regardless of your chronological age.